Hello and welcome to Headlines. Today you're watching our special presentation of the upcoming India-South Africa series, the biggest test, and it's an absolutely apt title because 2013 has been a remarkable year for Team India, especially in the one-day format. But this is indeed going to be the cherry on top of that brilliant cake if India managed to win their 7th consecutive ODI series, and this one abroad, in a country that they've never won an ODI series before. So the first match of this 3-match series is what we're looking forward to, starting in about half an hour's time from now. I'm Shivani Gupta, and former India captain Saurav Ganguly will join us very soon. But let's just set this up for you. 25 matches between India and South Africa, and in South Africa, the record that India has managed so far is abysmal, really. There's no other way to term it, because they've only managed to win 5 matches in South Africa. 2 of those wins have come under MS Dhoni. I'll be looking to get a few more. These are the concerns before Captain MS Dhoni as they face a South African side which does not have very good form right now themselves, but they're still at home, and MS Dhoni will have to ensure that the chinks in the armour of the Indian batting lineup, as well as that worry with the Indian bowling towards the end, should not get in the way of getting their first ever series win in South Africa. Spinners too, who are regularly the higher wicket takers in India for us, may not get a lot of purchase on South African wickets. In fact, the update that we're getting from Johannesburg also does not sound very nice for Team India. Yes, we do have a lot of faith in our young batting lineup, and they've had a spectacular year, but the pitch is going to suit the South African pace attack more than the Indian batting lineup. All in all, with the history, with the lineups given right now, with the year that India has had in 2013, and with the inconsistent time they have had at home, especially this year, it's a lip-smacking battle that we have on our hands. It's bound to raise the heat. And as the two teams gear up for this series opener in Johannesburg, India will quietly back themselves, if nothing else, to start off on a winning note. And as they say, well begun is half done.
It's the battle between the best. A tussle between two of the most exciting teams in world cricket. While the Blue Brigade is number 1 on the ODI rankings, the Proteans are ranked number 5. But rankings would matter for little when these two teams face each other in the first ODI at Wanderers on Thursday. Dhoni's men go into the series opener on the back of a fantastic run of form, which has seen them win 6 consecutive ODI series. Add to the fact that India's top 3 have had a dream run in 2013, notching over 1,000 runs each. AB de Villiers and his army are no pushovers. But having suffered a series loss against Pakistan at home, the pressure would be on them to bounce back.
So we're under pressure here in our home country. We just lost a series, so the confidence is not hugely high.
The hosts would also be buoyed by their fantastic record against the Men in Blue at home.
And he's knocked him over. That was a great in-swinger.
But given India's current form, Dhoni's men would be backing themselves to rewrite history.
And he's gone.
I think it's important that we play well. The only thing is, in a 3-match series, it becomes difficult if a team lags behind and lose the first game. Then there's a bit of extra pressure on the team that has lost the first game.
Having never won a series in Protea land, the young Indian brigade would be itching to deliver something special. And given their ability, talent and form, they very well can. With Rasesh Mandani in Joburg, Sports Bureau, Headlines Today.
So after all the build-up to this all-important series, with the boards fighting, with the tour being cut down, finally we're at the start of this very exciting cracker of a match, India versus South Africa in Johannesburg. And to talk more about just what India can expect from this first match, former India captain Saurav Ganguly joining us from Kolkata, and we're also joined by consulting editor Boria Majumdar. Dada, coming to you first up, there's good news for India, because even though the pitch has a lot of grass cover, in fact Sean Pollock calling it a test match pitch more than a one-day match pitch, India have won the toss, so that's one good thing, and they've elected to bowl first because dew could have been a factor later on as well. So that's a good start for India.
No, I don't think dew is a factor later on at this time in South Africa. I think it's the greenness of the pitch. if at all it is. I haven't seen the pitch, I haven't seen the game yet. So it's the greenness of the pitch which probably made Dhoni take this decision. India hasn't played a game in South Africa yet. This is going to be the first game on the tour. So they obviously don't want to bat on a green pitch first and get stuck. So we'll have to wait and see how important this toss is, because if it's a green pitch and it's a day-night game, and as the night progresses there will be seam and swing in South Africa, it's not like India, because with that, and even in the night it doesn't seem that much. But once you go to England, you go Australia or South Africa, once it gets dark, once the sun goes away and the light takes over, it just cools down a bit and starts moving around. So we'll have to wait and see. It's too early to pass a judgment, and obviously I think it's because of the greenness of the pitch that Mahendra Singh Dhoni has decided to bowl first.
Yes, Dada, just to, I hear you, but the update that we are getting from Johannesburg is that there's a slight bit of overcast conditions. It's sunny right now and the weather is clear, and the experts at the pitch suggest that there will be dew later on, because remember, it has been raining off and on in Johannesburg. There could be some rain interruptions in this match as well. But Boria, finally we are there. South Africa taking on India in their own backyard, and our build-up really has been quietly saying that this is the best chance for India to get that first ever series win in South Africa.
While you are saying that, this match, if you take this match for a start, India is undercooked. There is no question. India is seriously undercooked. You've actually reached South Africa 2 days back. You are taking them on in this first game. Make no mistake, you start 20-80 back. There is no question South Africa are 80-20 favourites going into this match. Whether or not you win the toss doesn't matter. And as Mahendra Singh Dhoni said, in a 3-test match, 3 one-day series, if you lose the first game, you're seriously behind. Yes, most of these Indian ODI batsmen, Rohit Sharma, Shikhar Dhawan, Virat Kohli, Mahendra Singh Dhoni himself, they will play the test series. So for them, this is ideal preparation going into the test series, and there India will seriously be competitive, or at least one hopes so. But for this match, there is no question. Yes, it's the biggest test. If we win today, brilliant. It's a brilliant victory. But if you really assess your chances, be pragmatic, try and sort of be a realistic assessment, I think South Africa start way favourites. And as sort of said, there will be swing, come what may, towards the evening, under lights, and we've seen what happened in South Africa in the past. So make no mistake, you start underdogs.
Absolutely. They will start underdogs. They're the #1 team. They've been winning 6 series consecutively, but they will start as the underdogs, and that is why, as Boria mentioned, we're calling it the biggest test, because this will be the cherry on the cake. It will be very hard to get, though. Let's just take a look at the playing 11 news we're getting from Johannesburg, and no surprises for guessing that India has not touched their winning combination. They're playing the same side as they did in their last match in Kanpur. So absolutely no changes. Whatever is the side that India has right now is on song. Yes, only 5 players in the overall squad, if you include Zahir Khan, have ever played in South Africa before. So there are a lot of greenhorns here, especially in the bowling department, and a lot will depend on them, as MS Dhoni has won the toss and elected to bowl first. Let's also go across to Johannesburg, where my colleague Rasesh Mandani caught up with a few Indian fans as the fever reached a crescendo before this series opener.
India is playing miles away in South Africa, but one big reason why India continues to have a distinct advantage over the other teams, even overseas, is the battery of supporters who almost seem to gather everywhere they play the cricket. Now, I've got a battery of Indian cricket fans who are going to be at Joburg today. Guys, tell me, what are you expecting from this young Indian team?
Yeah, we are expecting a team as we are going to win the game today. And we know that in previous match India were doing well, and even this time also India is going to do the same thing. So we expect that, we cheer for India. We hope that India is going to win this match. And not only India, we are Indians, we are going to support India. We are here to support the Indian team. And we have booked our ticket about 2-3 months back, as once it was announced. And we are waiting for this test. It's a long time. And we are here to enjoy the day.
Who will be the star performer for India, you think? UV. Anyone else?
Virat Kohli.
Virat Kohli is going to perform today. He is going to be the match winner. And we are going to support him.
that's the mood here from Johannesburg. Minutes before the start of the game, people here obviously are queuing up, and the Indian supporters wanting to make sure that all these caps and fans and the voice that the South African supporters are going to make today, that will be outnumbered possibly. There are more people who stay, more Indians who reside in Durban, but people here are flocking in Johannesburg to ensure that this young Indian team gets the support they deserve. In Johannesburg with cameraman Manish, Rasesh Mandani, Headlines Today.
So support is not going to be an issue for Team India. But Dada, as India looks to bowl first, lots of pressure on the Indian young pace attack. And they have come under a bit of a pressure from the counterpart captain de Villiers as well, talking about the weak Indian bowling lineup.
To be honest, I don't think it's going to be that weak though, because if there's grass on the pitch, it's going to help Bhuvaneshwar Kumar and Mohit Sharma, because they're all seam bowlers. Yes, they may not have express pace, there may not be a Dale Steyn or a Moni Morkel, but these young bowlers will do enough on that pitch if it's got a bit of grass. I think actually the South Africans probably could make a mistake by putting grass on that pitch, because it just makes those medium pace Indian bowlers a lot more useful. On a flat pitch against a good South African batting side, the attack may not be sharp enough. But on the other side, if you look at the South African attack, Steyn, Morkel, Philander, Callis, who can all bowl at 140 and even 150. So yes, there is a difference in the pace in both the sides, but I just get a feeling that this young bowling attack on this pitch, especially with a bit of grass, will not do that poorly. For me, the challenge for India will be how they bat, whether they bat first, whether they bat second, or how they bat right throughout the tour. That's going to decide where India finishes this series.
Absolutely. Batting in South African conditions is going to be the tough challenge for India. And in fact, that is the challenge, Boria, that we want our batsmen to graduate from, because this is the core of the Indian team that is supposed to take us forward. So this is that test for the likes of Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Shikhar Dhawan and others to put their hands up.
Absolutely, I absolutely endorse what Saurav said. Think about the last series, the way you started, 136 bowled out in that first test match. The second innings you were a 450 and you became competitive. But always, just go back and see in history, 1992-93, 1996-97, that first test match in Durban, 66 all out. Once again, 2002-3, 2001 rather, then last 2010-11, always the start in South Africa, the first batting performance in South Africa has been below par. And that's why I call them undercooked. 2 days, not even perhaps 2 days, they've got jet lag and all of that. So yes, the entire thing will be the Indian batting. Can these batsmen stand up and deliver? Yes, they have the potential, they have the talent, but within 2 days, can they acclimatize? Can they adjust? Can they make that mental adjustment? Saurabh was actually saying about a week back that, balls that will bounce waist high here will be shoulder high in South Africa. That's the kind of adjustment you need to make. And believe me, being a pragmatist, if you try and be realistic here, Indian batsmen will have it really difficult. A Steyn, a Morkel, a Philander, a Jacques Kallis, these are real quality people who will operate for South Africa. So yes, while the bowling will come good, I have no doubt, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Shami Ahmed and people will come good. I have serious doubts, despite the potential in our batting lineup, about how they fare.
That's right. This was one of the things that MS Dhoni also discussed, how India doesn't really have a lot of preparation time. Yes, he's talked about it in context with the test series, that before the test series, they're playing one game and of course the one-day series. So he was hopeful that the Indian batsmen and others will be ready. But as far as the one-day series itself is concerned, Boria is spot on that we've had absolutely no time to get used to it. Updates coming about the South African team as well. And before we slip into a break, let me just mention that Graeme Smith is still not playing today. Remember, he missed their last match because of his grandmother passing away, and it seems he hasn't made it back to his team. The good news is though that Dale Steyn and Jacques Kallis are there. The biggest test. Let's just take a look at our Twitter wall as well and see what some of the fans on both sides are saying. Let's see how good the Indian batting lineup is, says Afan Dawood, I'm guessing from South Africa. Of course, this is the big test for the lineup that has done extremely well over the past year or so. SA players will wear the all pink kits, remember, today in support of breast cancer awareness. So that is one thing to look forward to in today's match as well, something that the SA team has done before as well. India begins its tour with its first ODI today. All the best, Team India. Play well. That's the wishes coming from the Indian fans. But Here's something for MSD to look at. He needs just 3 more wins to become India's most successful ODI captain. Currently, of course, Mohammad Azharuddin leads with 91 wins. Can MSD get them in South Africa? Of course, that's the big question. A very, very tall order. He'll have to win, of course, all 3 of the 3 matches against South Africa. And as we spoke about previous to the break as well, this is not going to be easy. There's hardly any preparation. There are a lot of greenhorns in the team. But MS Dhoni, if there's any man who can pull off history, then it's him, isn't it? He's got us that first one-day win in Australia. He's got us the titles that we've never won before, one of them coming in South Africa as well. So overall, history is beckoning the man who has the Midas touch. Can he deliver this time? Let's cut across to Johannesburg, where my colleague Rasesh Mandani is standing by with some friends. Rasesh, ever since he landed in South Africa, there have been some uncomfortable questions thrown at MS Dhoni. There's been some lip service already by the opposite Captain de Villiers. Overall, not just Team India's biggest test, but also MS Dhoni's biggest test.
Adam, say I want to get one of the break.
Yes, I think, more than what Dhoni would have to counter on the field as far as the South Africans are concerned, and there's going to be some hostile behavior from the crowd as well. Everyone that we speak here in this country is disappointed about the fact that this isn't a full-fledged series. They're looking forward to the series against the contest between 2 top sides, India being the top-ranked one-day seed. So I think as far as the crowds are concerned, they are knowledgeable in here, and they will try and make it a little difficult for India. But I think Dhoni and his team are bracing up for that. But I think the bigger challenge, of course, is what they will face on the field. There's some logical reason behind the fact that India has never won a one-day series in South Africa, because obviously they haven't been able to get used to the conditions. The good thing is that the one-dayers are there before the test matches, and India's bowling first in this game. So, right, the bowlers get a chance to make the first use of it. So the likes of Steyn and Mockle may not get a chance to make the first use of it against the Indian batting. So India will have to strategize well. But if ever India had a chance to do well, it's now, because 2013 has been stupendous for the Indian one-day team, and they're carrying a lot of good form going into this series.
Absolutely, Rasesh. Keep your eye on the match and enjoy yourself. We'll keep coming back to Rasesh. Final comments, Dada, coming to you. We have very little time left. Very quickly, how do you think MS Dhoni will approach this series? He doesn't quite give away a lot when he's asked questions, but what's going on in his mind?
Yeah, obviously, he doesn't need to give away a lot when asked too many questions. He just needs to play well, just needs to focus on his game and bat well. I think he's done well in the past in one-day cricket overseas. I'm not so sure in test matches overseas, but in one-day cricket, I think he's done well. The one in Australia in 2007, then obviously the Champions Trophy in England this time, where the wickets spun. Obviously, the wickets in South Africa are going to be a lot different than what they were in Champions Trophy. They will be a lot seamer friendly, but I think he has the experience of winning in one-day cricket abroad, and I'm sure if they bat well, they've got a good chance in this series too. But for me, the difference between India winning and losing in this series will be how well they bat.
Absolutely. So the stage is set. Boria Majumdar, Saurav Ganguly, Rasesh Mandani, thanks a lot for joining us. They've set the stage perfectly for this series opener in Johannesburg, and we can only smack our lips hoping there'll be some exciting action.